Hello, it's Stuart, the unrepentant atheist. So I've got a story today for you about a Canadian who decided to go out to Indonesia to live in Indonesia because he thinks it's a better country, the people are better. He's converted to Islam. Let's have a listen to him.
Is a Canadian senior teacher, Andrew Heimers. He strongly believes that Islam is the major reason why Indonesians are better than most Canadians.
To me, Islam is by far the best way to go. I've looked at the other religions too, and Islam makes the most sense. It's the most reasonable. It's the most complete. That's just my opinion.
In case you don't know, Andrew was born in Canada and now works in Indonesia as a senior English teacher. He works for the company known as Wonder Mind. They focus on after-school education and training services.
Okay, so he's teaching English as a foreign language, probably to school children who've done their curriculum, and he goes in after school to teach them. And the company he's working for also trains teachers.
Currently living in Indonesia's massive capital, Jakarta. Andrew is very active on social media and often explains why he chose Indonesia over Canada. He uploaded a video on TikTok explaining 3 things that make Indonesia better than Canada.
Okay, 3 things that Indonesia does better than Canada, and arguably any Western nation, I would say. Number 1 is religion. Indonesians get religion way better than Canadians do. Number 2 is food. People ask me here, so how's food in Canada? Tell me about some Canadian food. And I have no answer because to me, there is no such thing as Canadian food. Now, the third thing, incredibly, is logistics. I know I was whining about this a couple videos ago.
The first and most important reason why he loves Indonesia is Islam. Andrew believes Indonesians are better because of their commitment to religion. They follow their religion more seriously than Canadians. According to him, Indonesians don't like it when people make fun of their religion, while many Canadians don't practice their religion at all. Practicing religion makes people kind, respectful, and special. He believes Islam is the best religion compared to others. Well, he is right, as Indonesia holds the title of being the world's largest Muslim majority nation, with approximately 87.2% of its population practicing Islam.
Well, of course, if his standard is how dominant Islam is as a religion in a particular country, and Indonesia holds that record for being 87.2%, the highest percentage of any country in the world adherence to Islam, then of course it will be a better place to live than Canada. But I would dispute with him whether that is truly a good standard to hold. I would personally try to live in a more secular nation, simply because in countries where one religion is really dominant, it's inevitable that aspects of that religion will necessarily feed into government policy. And as we know, that's not really a good thing. It's better to have separation between church and state, between religion and state. So I would actually say that it's a bad thing.
In Indonesia, Muslims are known for their kindness and respect towards people of other religions, especially those who come to their country for work. Despite following Islam strictly, they maintain a polite and welcoming attitude.
Well, if that's true, then obviously that's a good thing. And my big issue with religion, of course, is that I don't think that it's true. Maybe it can be useful. Maybe it can make people behave who wouldn't normally necessarily otherwise behave well. Maybe the strict rules and the fear of punishment can actually make people be kind and behave well. So if that's the case, and if that's what it takes, then maybe it is a good thing. But my concern with religion is just that I don't think that it's true.
Indonesian Muslims believe in the importance of treating everyone with kindness and respect, regardless.
Well, I think that most religions actually are the same, and indeed with secular humanism and just people in general. have that standard for the way that they treat other people. You don't need to believe in a false god. You don't need to believe in a religion to actually practice that as a standard for treating other people and behaving in society.
Regardless of their beliefs or backgrounds. For this reason, Newsweek magazine once described Indonesian Islam as Islam with a smiling face. On the other hand, Andrew thinks that
Yeah, what's the implication of that? Islam with a smiling face. The implication is that the general perception of Islam is that it's a very angry religion, a very reactive religion, a very vengeful religion. And as Andrew said, they don't like their religion being laughed at and ridiculed. And yes, the smiles are there, and I've met Muslims, but if you touch their religion, those smiles soon disappear. And I've found actually with Christians are actually better on the whole. If you say, well, I don't believe in Jesus, I don't really believe there was a resurrection, they'll just smile in a kind of condescending way and say, well, there's time for you yet. But you say to a Muslim that, Muhammad was, or whatever, or Allah doesn't exist, you'll soon see the smiles disappear. And yeah, so that's the problem. That's the problem with Islam, that it's very reactive to any kind of criticism.
Western nations have lost their real identity. According to the 2022 census, Canadians are losing their religion at an unprecedented rate, with more than a third of the country reporting they don't belong to any religious group.
Well, he's stating there that they're losing their real identity, but he's including in that religion, that Canadians identify themselves, for example, as being Christian Canadians, and now they're becoming more secular. They're losing that aspect of their identity. Maybe they're just changing. Maybe their identity is just changing. It's not that they're losing it. They're just becoming more secular. That's all. They're still Canadians. They've still got cultural identity, but they've lost, or let's say that they've thrown off the shackles of religious identity.
According to him, people who don't believe in any religion reject morality that is based on the grounds of punishment for evil deeds and rewards for good deeds.
Well, I'm a secular person, and I believe that evil deeds should be punished, and I believe that good deeds should be rewarded. I think we should live in a meritocracy. So he's just generalizing here, and I don't think he's got any real facts to back any of this up. It's just, we get this from Christians as well, that, oh, you atheists, you're just out for yourselves. You don't care how other people feel. You just go around enjoying yourself and sinning, etc. You're just nihilists. And yeah, we hear it from Christians, not just Muslims.
They do not fear being answerable to anyone for the unintentional hurt they could cause to anyone. They don't feel guilty or sorry for what they have done because they believe in moving forward without
How does he know how other people feel? It's very arrogant.
looking back, even if they hurt someone's feelings. Andrew believes that there is limited freedom of expression in Canada as people struggle to express themselves clearly. Well, the second and third thing he loves about Indonesia are its food and logistics. People always ask him the reason why he moved to Indonesia from Canada. He made many videos on this topic. According to Andrew, Canadians just have to work all the time without spending any quality time with their family.
Well, is that really true? Are they working all the time without spending any quality time with them? Again, it's another generalization, but I would say he's probably getting at the fact that more women now, thankfully, are able to choose a career. They don't have to stick themselves in the home and look after the child all the time. Or with flexi working, they can do that as well, look after the children, spend good quality time with the children, and they can have a career too, which I think is a wonderful thing. And he's seeing this as a bad thing. Of course, it could well be a bad thing if parents are both working literally, not literally, but all the time, to the extent that it's harming family life. But I don't necessarily think that that is the case. I think it could be the case in some cases, but not in every case. He's just generalizing again. Yeah, so obviously in Indonesia, I would, it's in Islamic societies, it tends to be the case that girls are not encouraged into careers. They're encouraged to be homemakers. So they're groomed for marriage, and they will typically marry an older male and come with a dowry, etc. And the whole system is rigged against women. They've got no equality of opportunity. And he thinks that is a good thing. He thinks it's a good thing, but I think that we should live in a society where there's equality of opportunities. Again, coming back to what he was saying about why he thinks Indonesia is a better place because of the religion, because of the food, because of the logistics. I don't hear him saying things like because of the education's high quality, because there's for example, high quality health service, as there is in Britain, free health service, free healthcare for all, um, freedom of speech protection, protection for minorities, LGBTQ, etc. All these things. This is why I think why I enjoy living in Britain, because it's not perfect, but we have all these protections. We have strong rule of law. We don't have religion meddling in politics, and these are the reasons why that I would give for living in my country. Why I think my country is probably a better country to live in than uh, Indonesia, because religion is becoming more of a minority thing all the time. And he's flipped it around and said, well, it's better because religion is so dominant. And I don't, I don't agree with him, because what you've got is a religion with its own rule book, which is based on supernatural beliefs. And they're trying to influence government, which in Indonesia they will be doing. If there's 82% believers, they will necessarily be able to influence, because obviously the government's going to be composed of Muslims, and they will be enforcing their own religious beliefs on the entire population, which, okay, 82% are Muslim, but is that the best way to run a country when you're basing your rule of law on a religion that's got no proper evidential basis, which is unproven?
To beg for the love of their parents. So he moved to Indonesia, where he will be working while his wife can take care of their kids.
Yeah, you see,
It,
that's right. She'll be stuck in the household as well. No opportunity for her to go out and have a career of her own. He wants to live in the dark ages, and for him, from that point of view, Indonesia suits him right down to the ground. Okay, well, we're not going to go any further. I think the point of the video is made. He hasn't really given any good reasons for his beliefs, I was hoping he would say something about that. It's just that for him, he thinks that Islam works well, and because there are so many Muslims living in Indonesia, such a high percentage of the population, that's where he wants to live. He likes the way that Islam does things, and I don't. I don't like the way that I don't like religion having any influence on the political system or the way that people live their lives. I think it should all be done in a very secular and rational way. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Um, another epic fail from this guy's point of view. He grew up in Canada and he's married an Indonesian woman, which is fine. That's fine. Why take her out to live in a Islamic country where she's going to be stuck in the home? She's going to be bringing children up in an Islamic country where if she has any daughters, they're going to be stuck in the home as well. There's going to be no equality of opportunity. If she has children who are LGBTQ, they'll be victimized by the Muslim majority. Why is he taking them out there? He's doing a disservice to his own family. That's what I think. Okay, well, bye for now.